Hello and welcome to Middle Eastern Thursday. So today it is all about the House of LATTAFA. We are currently, at least here in the US, we are in the spring season, but I figured that I would bring you my top picks within just LATTAFA fragrances as it relates to the seasons of spring and summer. So for those of you that are already preparing, your fragrance lineup for the summer season, well, you're going to have plenty to select here. But these fragrances are truly perfect for the spring and summer season. It's all about not just how beautiful and how exquisitely they smell, but also about the performance and about the compliments. So when it comes to that, I can assure you that these fragrances will really perform and will definitely get you attention. Now, these are not the only fragrances in my collection. These are truly my top 23 picks for these two seasons. I do have more, and that's why I didn't land like in my top 10 or my top 15 or my top 20, because I really wanted to go through all my LATTAFA fragrances and pick whichever ones I really felt were perfection for spring and summer. As I share these fragrances with you, though, I will be ranking them, which I'm sure you know how painful that was because you know how I love my fragrances. If they're in my collection, it's because I enjoy them. So as I go along, I will be giving you a bit of detail because all of these fragrances have already been reviewed in detail here on the channel, and some of them have even been featured multiple times. So as I go along, I will be giving you some detail as always. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right in because we have quite a bit to cover as always. But if this is your first time here, I'm Marahi, and I'm your fragrance concierge because I'm totally committed to creating the best fragrance experience for you. I upload videos multiple times a week, and on this channel, we just love to talk about fragrances. So if that sounds like the type of content that you're interested in and like a good plan, then please consider subscribing, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget, hype this video, please, and leave a comment. Let's go, fam. All right, fam. So before we jump right in, let me go ahead and, as always, share with you my makeup of the day. I will leave a link to every product that I'm wearing on my face in case you're interested in picking up any of them. But I will tell you that today I was not in the mood for doing much makeup. So what I did is just put on some powder. I put like a tinted moisturizer and I put on some powder, and I did not do an eyeshadow. I didn't do an eye look with an eyeshadow palette, so I don't have a palette to share with you today. But I will tell you that the blush that I am wearing today is one of my Chanel's, which you guys know if you've been with me for a while that this is one of my favorite formulas. And this one is in Fuchsia Rosa. And let me go ahead and share it with you. It's a beautiful, beautiful color. I absolutely love it. It is definitely like a coral color. So this doesn't really go with pinks or with reds or anything like that. It's really more designed for like coral and orange. And then for a lipstick today, I did pull an oldie but a goodie. And if I find it, I will link it for you. But if I don't, I apologize. This one is from YSL and it's in 340. Beautiful, beautiful. And let me go ahead and show you because this color is really, really, it's a neutral, but it's so, so beautiful. And it goes for any season. I absolutely love it because when I'm not in the mood to wear a lipstick with a lot of color or color at all, like today, I just put this on and I'm good. And of course, I needed to pull one of my Dior lip glow oils, and this one is in Latte. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful neutral color. At least on my skin, it's neutral, because as you can see, it just added a sheen to that lipstick. But anyway, I will leave a link to everything in the description box of this video in case you're interested. All right, so before we jump into the fragrances, I do have a surprise for you because we have a new fragrance launch from Macedon Perfumes, and again, in collaboration with CeeChronicles from here on YouTube. I will make sure to leave a link to her channel. If you don't know who C is, you really need to head on over there and give her some love because she is phenomenal. But anyway, so this is her second fragrance. Of course, you may recall that she first had Proud Mary, which I absolutely love, and I have featured on the channel multiple times. But today I want to quickly, because I just received it a couple days ago, I just want to quickly let you know about Numero 2. And here is the gorgeous bottle. I mean, this is beautiful. Look at that cap. So the cap is similar to the cap, not similar, I think it's the same as the cap that we had in Proud Mary. But do you see how beautiful, how elegant? And again, much like in Proud Mary, the weight of the bottle speaks to luxury. Just holding it in your hand, the cap is not cheap in any way. It has weight to it, just done in a very, very detailed and exquisite way. So this fragrance, let me go ahead and share with you the notes before I tell you. So at the top, we have peach nectar, cacao, and black pepper. At the heart, orange blossom and quince. And at the base, vanilla, benzoin, and patchouli. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it because I want to make sure that I give you a detailed review. And I've only had the opportunity to use this fragrance half a day, like a full day and then a half day. So the day that I received it, I was going to an event and I did spray it all over. I sprayed it on my skin and I sprayed it on my garments. It doesn't stain or anything. And I went to the event and I have to tell you guys, from the first moment I sprayed it, I fell deeply in love with this fragrance. I mean, I love Proud Mary, but I think numero dos is definitely going to jump at the top of my fragrances from Macedon Perfumes and C, because I am telling you, this is just incredible. There is a fruitiness in the opening, followed by the floral presence, but then there's that cacao note that I pick up on faintly. It's not bitter. The scent is sweet, but it's not very sweet. It is just perfection. And at the dry down, you get all that with a good bit of vanilla. The dry down, to me, the beauty of this one is that the blend at the dry down is quite seamless. I absolutely love, love, love this fragrance, but I do want to use it a couple more days, because I've been testing so many other fragrances. I want to give my nose a rest for a day and then go ahead and try it on skin for an entire day. And then I will circle back and give you a review. But in case you're interested, this is a fragrance that is going to be launching tomorrow on their website. And if I recall correctly, it's going to retail for $85. So, and this is not a limited production as Proud Mary was. So it's definitely going to be available for you. But I tell you, this is amazing. And for me, it is a safe blind buy. It really, really is. As long as you're into the notes that I shared with you and some of the accords. But again, I will circle back with much more detail. Oh, and by the way, congratulations to C and Macedon Perfumes. All right, so now let's go ahead and jump into the LATTAFA fragrances. Again, this is not a detailed review video, but I will be giving you some degree of information and details. You know how I am. And as I go along, I'm going to be ranking them for you, okay? Just keep in mind that this is just my opinion, okay? Because there may be fragrances that are a deep love for you. And believe me, these are all loved by me, okay? Some are loved, but some are deep loved, but they are all loves, which is why they're on this lineup. But since I knew you were going to ask me to rank them, I did take the time to rank them, but all of them, they really all could have landed in the number 1 to number 10 spot. But let's go ahead and start with number 23. And coming in at number 23 is from LATTAFA Pride, and this is Kashan. And here is the very interesting bottle. Now, Kashan is a fragrance that is, to me, truly unisex. And although I am telling you that these fragrances are perfect for spring and summer, this is one that you can pull off any season of the year. Here you have at the top, Clara Sage, Pepper, and Orange. At the heart, Cashmere and Raspberry and Ambroxan. And at the base, Sandalwood, Musk, and Vetiver. So this is a fragrance that does open quite citrusy and bordering a little bit, just a little bit zesty. I don't specifically pick up on a specific fruit. This one has been sitting for a long time. So now that dry down is quite seamless for me. But it does still open citrusy with a certain degree of zestiness. And then it transitions into a warm, spicy, where I clearly pick up on the note of pepper. Then you are going to pick up on a bit of like a sweet kind of scent that comes across as fruity, but it doesn't allow me to pick a specific fruit. At least I don't get it. And at the dry down, you are going to have a creamy woodiness on a backdrop of musk. The musk level here, I would say, is a level 3. Definitely a level 3, which means that you're going to pick up on the musk. But the good news is that it's not animalic. Very, very nicely done fragrance. Definitely perfect for spring and summer. But again, all year and unisex. Let us know if you've tried Kashan. Do you own it? How do you feel about it? Has yours been sitting for a long time? Let us know. All right, so the next fragrance that I do want to share with you today, and coming in, I think at number 22, I'll make sure to put the number on the screen so that you know where we are in the ranking. But coming in at number 22, we have Afif. And here is the very interesting bottle. You know, I've been telling you from the beginning that I'm not much of a lover of this specific bottle. I mean, it's just that the cap, when I remove it, it feels a little bit light. It feels a little bit cheap, but I must say this is very, very nice. I guess these are some like peacocks that are united at the top, but it's such a shame because even though I don't love the cap, the bottle is absolutely gorgeous. This bottle is just beautiful. But let's talk about the scent. So Afif is absolute perfection for spring and summer, but this is also another fragrance that you can definitely pull off during any season of the year. This is a fragrance that allegedly was inspired by Xerjov's Herba Gold, I believe. I have to tell you that this does not give me Herba at all. It doesn't give me the original or the gold. To me, this is definitely a floral fruity scent, and it does have a bit of a spicy quality to it, making it perfection for any season of the year. But let me go ahead and share with you the notes. So here you have at the top peach, pink pepper, and bergamot. At the heart, tuberose, orange blossom, and jasmine. And at the base, amber, praline, sandalwood, and patchouli. This is a scent that at the dry down, as I said before, is a floral fruity scent. It is sweet, but not very sweet on a backdrop of woodiness that includes patchouli. But the thing about the patchouli here is that it is earthy. It's not super earthy. It's not obnoxious earthy. It is just earthy. So you have to enjoy an earthy dry down in order to really appreciate this scent. In addition to that, we are looking at an amber scent. And I do want to let you know that well, this is all about white florals. Tuberose is the star here. Yes, you are going to pick up on some of the other white florals involved, but to my nose, on my skin, and on paper, the tuberose takes the lead from the first moment that the florals appear all the way to the dry down and throughout the wear of the fragrance. Tuberose is the star. Let us know if you've tried Afif. How do you feel about this bottle? Do you enjoy it? Because, yeah, anyway, let us know. The next fragrance that I want to share with you is Queen of Arabia. And here is the gorgeous bottle. Absolutely beautiful. And I have to tell you, this bottle has a weight to it that when you hold it, it gives you that entire luxury vibe. The cap is a little bit light, but it doesn't feel cheap in any way. It's just that the bottle is so heavy that you're expecting the cap to also be a bit weighty, and it is quite light, but it's not hollow in my opinion, and I just don't think it has a cheap feel at all. Very, very nicely done. But let's talk about this fragrance because this one is allegedly, and to me it is, inspired by Atelier Materia, if I remember correctly, vanilla powder. Now, that is a fragrance that I absolutely love. But let's talk more about it because I have a lot to say on this one. So at the top here, we have coconut and salt. At the heart, we have sandalwood and heliotrope. And at the base, we have vanilla and amber. This is a scent that opens with a very, I don't want to say realistic coconut. It is a realistic coconut in my opinion, guys, but it is a very powdery coconut. And I'm going to tell you right now that that powderiness is so present, it borders on being a little bit obnoxious. To some, it will be a bit much, just like in the OG. In this one, I do find the blend to be a bit smoother. It's almost like they have wanted to work out the quirks that, you know, that we talked about when it comes to vanilla powder, the OG. Because here, that powderiness is quite present, but it is smoother than in the original. And by the way, this one was inspired by the Eau de Parfum, not the extrait, because now vanilla powder does have an extrait. But this one to me is definitely more a direct comparison to the Eau de Parfum. This is a scent that to me is unisex, but does lean a bit to the feminine side. But I can see a gent pulling this one off. But this one to me definitely leans feminine. Again, it opens with that coconut, and that coconut almost brings on an aquatic quality with it. And I think that the reason that I am picking that up, I'm picking up that accord, is because the note of salt is involved. I don't per se smell salt, but I get like what I would call an aquatic quality, right? But I think it's really that note of salt. As the journey continues, you are going to pick up on the vanilla. Once the vanilla comes in, it pairs up with that powdery coconut, to call it something, and it will never leave the scent. It will be with you until the dry down. and at the dry down and throughout the wear of the fragrance. It is definitely very, very nice. The vanilla does bring with it a bit of sweetness. This is a scent that is sweet, but it's not very, very sweet, but it is definitely sweet. Okay. Now, midway in the olfactory journey, the florals do come in. Only, if I recall correctly, only heliotrope has been, disclosed. But I have to tell you that I think there's other florals here. But that heliotrope, I do pick up on the heliotrope. And the heliotrope makes the scent like a bit more powdery. I don't know, but that's just how I pick it up. That's when I feel that the level of powderiness can be a bit much to some. But again, this one has a smoother powdery accord than that you find in the original. At the dry down, you're going to get a very beautiful powdery ambery scent that is marked by a floral presence. And, can I pick up on the heliotrope? Yes, but faint. But it's more of like a floral presence surrounded by that coconut that I already told you the coconut is the star. Let us know if you've tried this fragrance. How do you feel about it? And by the way, although I have it in this lineup and I think it's perfect for spring and summer, this is one that you could definitely pull any season of the year for any occasion, day or night. Let us know if you've tried it. How do you feel about it? Did you also try the OG? How do they compare to your nose? Let us know. The next fragrance that I have for you is my favorite of all of the Yaras. And if you've been with me for a while, you know that Yara is a fragrance that I really didn't fall in love with, not with the first one or with the second one, the one in the yellow bottle. But once they launched Yara Candy, I have to tell you, this one was the game changer for me. And here is the bottle. So this is the bottle that we've come to recognize as primarily the Yara collection. But I have another fragrance coming later that is not part of the Yara collection, but it has the same bottle, just a different color. But anyway, so Yara Candy has at the top blackcurrant and green tangerine, at the heart strawberry fizz candy and gardenia, and at the base vanilla, musk, amber, and sandalwood. And that's all fine and well. But let me tell you that at the dry down, what you are going to get is a gloriously beautiful candy scent that, while being very much about like a note of candy, like a sweet strawberry hard candy that you just put in your mouth and you're like just sucking on all day. That's really what I get from it. But for some reason, it's not a juvenile scent. Is this a scent that I would wear to a formal event? Absolutely not. But this is definitely one that I am telling you, you can wear for any occasion if you are into this type of, scent. For any occasion, day or night, because it doesn't smell juvenile. To me, it is perfection for spring and summer. This is not one that I would pull during the fall because it lacks that warmth that I am looking for in a good fall scent. That's just me. But again, remember how we do here. Wear what you want, when you want, and how you want. This is a fragrance that I know is a signature scent for some, so they wear it all throughout the year. But for me, this is more about the spring and summer. And at that, I think that this is highly feminine. I cannot see a gent wearing this. Maybe if you layer it with a very masculine, woody base kind of scent. But to me, this is completely feminine. Let us know if you own Yara Candy. Did you pick it up? Did you get a decant? What are your thoughts around it? The next fragrance that I want to share with you is Petra. And here is the very interesting bottle. Now, Petra is a fragrance that when it was launched, and I think I have a dedicated review for, I think I did a dedicated review for this one because when it was first launched, there was quite a bit of rumbling. People were expecting like more of a vanilla-centric scent. And, it like disappointed so many. It started to get mixed reviews. But through time, people started to say that they were falling in love with it. This is the typical case of one of those scents that really needed to sit in order for you to get what the fragrance had to offer. This one has at the top rum and plum, at the heart tuberose and coconut, and at the base vanilla, musk, and praline. This is a scent that, while it's perfection because it's supposed to pick up like, I think this is like a Greek islands type of like a theme or something. It is absolutely beautiful. I mean, the bottle is just exquisite. But this is a scent that to me is perfection for spring and summer. But curiously enough, it is one that I think you can pull during any season of the year. Personally, for me, it is more about the spring and summer seasons only primarily. But this is definitely a scent that I recognize that you could pull off anytime for any occasion, day or night. To me, it does lean feminine, especially now that it has had a chance to sit. And it does have quite a bit of vanilla. The opening of this fragrance is very fruity now, and I clearly pick up on the plum. There is booziness to the scent, but it's a very light level of booziness. It's not like a full-on boozy, you know? It is a very light and nice boozy quality. Now, as the journey continues, you are going to get the coconut. Much like I told you from the very beginning, the coconut that I pick up is creamy, but it's not very, very present. And when it comes to the florals, I have to tell you that the tuberose is definitely, in my opinion, the star. It is definitely a musk-based scent to the tune of a 3 to 4, but now that it's had a chance to sit, for me, it's more of like a level 3 and a little tiny bit animalic, which really surprises me because I didn't pick that up from the beginning. I don't think I did, but now it is coming across as a little bit animalic. But overall, this is a scent that I think is absolutely beautiful. Let us know if you've tried it. What has your experience been? Did you like it from the get-go, or were you one of those fam members that was like, I don't know about this one, Arahi? Anyway, let us know. The next fragrance that I have for you is from the Badi Al Oud collection, and this one is Noble Blush. And here is the gorgeous bottle. Now, Badi Al Oud Noble Blush is a fragrance that really does have a gourmand quality to it. It is definitely yummy at the dry down, and what you're going to get is supposed to be rose milk, but I have to tell you that especially now that it's had a chance to sit, while I do get that rose, the rose is definitely present here, I also get like what I would call like a strawberry milkshake type of quality. This fragrance has at the top rose milk, at the heart meringue and almond, and at the base vanilla, musk, and sandalwood. The musk at the dry down to me now is like a level 4, not animalic in any kind of way. You are going to get quite a bit of vanilla, and you're going to get that rose. That rose is a crisp rose. It's a freshly bloomed like today kind of rose. The scent is also lactonic, and it has a nutty quality that is what gives it that yumminess, in my opinion. For me, this is a scent that I could see a gent pulling off, but you would have to layer it with a heavy masculine type of scent because it does lean feminine, especially now that it's had a chance to sit. To me, this definitely leans feminine. Let us know if you've tried it. How do you feel about it? Do you use it all throughout the year? Because I think you can pull this off all throughout the year, but for me, it is perfection for spring and summer. Let us know. The next fragrance that I have for you is a recent launch, but it's not very recent. It's been definitely months. So this one has had a chance to sit for quite a while. And I'm speaking about Layan. And here is the very interesting bottle. I did not know what to make of this bottle at the beginning, but then, you know, a little while later, I did end up like enjoying it for some reason. But anyway, this is a scent that does have a green quality to it, which I think is what's going to either make you love it or not love it. The greenness in this scent is present, but it's not obnoxious or overpowering or overwhelming in any kind of way. This is a fragrance that is all about the white florals. And at that, I clearly pick up on the note of gardenia and lily of the valley. Those are the two that are in the lead. So you need to make sure that you love those florals, because if not, you're not going to enjoy this one. The scent does have a good bit of fruitiness. The fruitiness is always accompanied by that green accord, because the fragrance opens with that fruitiness and a bit of a citrusy quality. That fruitiness comes in again with a bit of that green quality. And by the time you hit midway in the olfactory journey, the greenness is there, it's present, and it's there to stay. At the dry down, you are going to get all that on a musk woody base. I would say that now that this one has had a chance to sit, it's becoming more woody at the dry down than musky, but the musk is still present. To me, this is a fragrance that leans to the feminine side. I really can't imagine a gent really wearing this scent because the florals are really present, and it's that gardenia and that lily of the valley. Let us know if you've tried Layan. What has your experience been? Did you love it from the beginning? Are you enjoying how the white florals were done here? Let us know. Next, I want to share with you Assad Zanzibar. And here is the very interesting bottle. So this is the bottle that I was referring to when I told you with Yara that there was another fragrance that was coming up in the same bottle but a different color. This is the one I was speaking about. So this is a fragrance that has at the top lavender and black pepper, at the heart coconut water, iris, and salt, and at the base vanilla and incense. So this is a scent that was initially launched for the gents. Now, if you've been with me from the beginning of my Middle Eastern fragrances journey, you may recall that this is a scent that when I first tried it, I had to bring it to the channel immediately because I did fall deeply in love with it. This is a scent that to my nose, on my skin, and on paper has a very present note of coconut. The coconut is very, very creamy, but it is a coconut that, while being present, plays very, very nicely with the florals. The floral in command here is definitely the lavender, but the lavender has not been done in a way that leans to the masculine side. To me, this scent is completely unisex and perfection for the spring and summer, most specifically the summer, but I know that you can pull this off all throughout the year because it is also warm, spicy. And at the dry down, it has a very creamy kind of vanilla with that coconut. It is just perfection. I think that you can use this for any occasion, day or night. You can dress it up or you can dress it down. Let us know if you're one of the fam members that picked it up, because there was a time where there was like a summer season where all I did was talk about this fragrance because I really, really enjoyed it that much. And it's still here in my collection because it's an absolute love. Let us know. The next fragrance that I have for you is Hahayeb Dubai Portrait. And here is the gorgeous bottle. Now, this is a fragrance that as soon as I received it, and if you've been with me again from the beginning, you know that I've had this for the longest time. This is a scent, let me just start by telling you, that was allegedly, and yes, inspired by Stefan Humbert Luca Soleil de Jeddah. This is a scent that has at the top orange and lemon, at the heart mango, osmanthus, and jasmine, and at the base oud, sandalwood, musk, and amber. At the dry down, this is a very ambery scent that does have a present oud. But let's talk about the oud, because the oud, and this one has been sitting for over a year. I mean, maybe almost 2 years. The oud here is like a level 2, where 1 is the least that you're going to pick up and 5 is the most. To my nose, this is a level 2, but most likely if you're not used to oud, you're going to pick it up as a level 3. But it's not barnyardish in any kind of way, but it's also not super smooth, okay? Which means that you are going to pick up on it. It's just not barnyardish. This is a scent that is very much marked to my nose by the note of mango. The mango here is not a super ripe, super luscious, super sweet kind of mango, because the scent itself is really not very sweet. It is sweet, but not sweet or super sweet. It is just sweet a little bit. But this is a scent also that does have a floral presence. The one that I pick up on now the most is the note of osmanthus. And at the dry down, you're going to get a beautiful floral, fruity, more fruity than floral, ambery scent on a backdrop of woodiness. And that woodiness is creamy and brings with it that oud. Absolutely beautiful and done exquisitely. I think that this is definitely one that is unisex but leans to the feminine side, especially now that it's had a chance to sit. I think it does lean to the feminine side, but I can definitely see a gent pulling this off without any problem. To me, this is one that you can dress up, you can dress down, any occasion, day or night. Let us know if you tried Hahayeb Dubai Portrait and what has your experience been. The next fragrance that I have for you is Haya, and here is the gorgeous bottle. Now, Haya is a scent that was allegedly, and it was, I don't own this fragrance, but I have, tried it. I never picked up a decant. I did have a sample because at the time I wanted to compare them. This one is allegedly, and it has inspired by Viva La Juicy from Juicy Couture. But anyway, this one has at the top strawberry, champagne, tangerine, blood orange, and rose. At the heart, gardenia, jasmine, and vanilla orchid. And at the base, amber, sandalwood, and chestnut. This is a scent that is absolutely beautiful, but it is a scent that is feminine. It is what I would call like a pink scent. It speaks to feminine energy all the way to me. I cannot imagine a gent really pulling this off. This is a scent that to me is perfection for spring and summer, and maybe even the opening of the fall. To me, this is not a cold weather type of scent, but again, if it works for you, well, go for it. But to me, this is a scent that does have a good bit of fruitiness. That strawberry kicks in the opening for me clearly. And as the journey continues, that fruitiness increases, because at the dry down, I get that fruitiness, which then I can't really identify if it's strawberry or if it's another fruit, because this one has been sitting for a long time. But I do clearly get a bouquet of white florals with that fruitiness on a very ambery, woody, creamy, woody kind of scent. Absolutely beautiful fragrance. that you can use for any occasion, day or night. Again, even though it has this pink bottle, it's not juvenile in any kind of way. So you don't have to worry about that. It does also perform very, very well. It didn't perform very well at the beginning for me, but now that it's had a chance to sit, it does give me a full day wear. Let us know if you're one of the fam members that picked up Haya and what has your experience been. Next, I have for you Mora Silky Rose, and here is the gorgeous bottle. Now, Mora Silky Rose is a fragrance that I've had in my collection for quite a while, and it is a scent that is absolutely beautiful. But the condition here is that you need to love a good rose note because this is all about that rose. At the top, we have rose, lychee, and pink pepper. At the heart, rose, musk, and lily of the valley. And at the base, musk, vanilla, and patchouli. The rose that you're going to find, oh, and by the way, this one was inspired definitely by Penhaligon's The Favorite. So if you've been looking for a more affordable alternative, here's your chance because this one is definitely inspired by that fragrance. Now, this is a scent that opens with that rose immediately and the lychee, and there is a warm, spicy presence there. But I don't necessarily pick up on a spice. Now that it's been sitting for a very long time in my collection, I don't get that warm, spicy quality in the opening, but I do get it at the dry down. The other thing that you need to know about this fragrance, in addition to the fact that the rose is in control, is that there's quite a bit of musk here. The level of musk here is like a level 4, bordering on 5. It is very, very musky. So remember, 1 being the least that you're going to pick up on the musk and 5 being the most, this is definitely a 4 to 5. Okay, so just keep that in mind. But other than that, this is a fragrance that I think is perfection for the spring, the summer, and the opening of the fall. This is not one that I would pull on a very cold day. This is definitely feminine, but curiously enough, I think that a gent could pull it off. If you layer it with a very, very woody masculine scent, you are going to be rather surprised and I think pleased if you do that because it does work very nicely. Anyway, let us know if you've tried this fragrance. It's been around for a long time. I have featured it so many times here on the channel. Let us know. The next fragrance that I have for you is Victoria. And here is the bottle that caused so much rumbling because some people absolutely love this bottle and others just absolutely despise it. I will never understand that. But anyway, this is a fragrance that was definitely inspired by Dolce & Gabbana's Devotion. Not My Devotion or Devotion Intense, but the very first one, Devotion. This is a fragrance that has at the top lemon meringue pie, at the heart neroli, and at the base vanilla. This is all about the note of vanilla, but at that, this is very much a gourmand scent that has a bit of tartness to it because it does have a citrusy quality at the opening. You're clearly going to get like lemon lime. But at the dry down, what you're going to experience for sure is like buttered, freshly baked, warm lemon butter pound cake kind of like dessert. It is absolutely incredible, okay? And this one, I will tell you, does smooth out a little bit of the screechiness that some say they pick up in the original Devotion. I absolutely love that fragrance. I can admit that it could be screechy to some because the level of tartness and that lemon and lime coming in the opening can be a bit overwhelming, but it is a scent that at the dry down is such a joy to wear. It's one of the few gourmands that will make you smell like food that I absolutely love and enjoy. So to me, this does lean to the feminine side, but I can see a gent pulling it off as long as you're into a serious gourmand. For me, you can wear this for any occasion, day or night, perfection for spring and summer, but you could pull it off during any season of the year. Let us know if you own Victoria. How do you feel about it? How does it work for you? The next fragrance that I have for you is Dynasty. And here is the very, very interesting bottle. Very weighty. There is nothing cheap about it. Even the cap has a certain degree of weight to it. Very, very nicely done scent. This is a fragrance that I absolutely love because it was inspired definitely by Clive Christian El Red Tea Vetiver. That is a fragrance that I absolutely love that has a scent that to me is completely unisex. I know that there's been rumblings around how this one may be more masculine than anything, but to me this is very, very much unisex. This one has at the top bergamot, ginger, clarisage, and raspberry, and nutmeg. At the heart, rooibos, tea, and suede, and at the base, cedarwood, cashmere, and amberwood. And that is all fine and well, but here's what you're going to get at the dry down. At the dry down, you are going to get a tea accord kind of scent. So the first condition is that you need to enjoy a good tea-centric fragrance in order to even appreciate this one from the get-go. It does have that note of rooibos tea. I identified it immediately because, you know, there are very few fragrances in my entire collection that have that note. One is the Chris Collins fragrance, and the other one is that Clive Christian. So when I picked it up in this one, I was immediately like, whoa, because I absolutely love that note. But again, you have to enjoy a good note of tea. It does have a note of suede, but the suede is always like in the backdrop of everything going on, and it's very, very faint. It doesn't play a critical role, so I would not even be concerned about it because it's really not very relevant. The scent at the dry down is musky and woody. The musk here, now that this one has had a chance to sit, is more of a level 3, but not animalic in any kind of way. And the woodiness is definitely the one that maybe makes others believe that this leans masculine. But to me, the woodiness is not excessive. It is balanced very nicely with all the other notes, accords, and tonalities. Let us know if you've tried Dynasty. Do you own it? Have you compared it to the OG? Would you agree that it's El Red Tea Vetiver? Anyway, let us know. The next fragrance that I want to share with you is Musamam White Intense. And here is the very, very interesting bottle. Now, for those fam members that really do not enjoy a snake motif, this one is not for you because I am pretty sure that you cannot remove the snake from the cap without affecting the integrity of the cap itself. But let's talk about this fragrance. This is one that if you are an OG of mine or you've been with me from the beginning of my journey, you know that this is a fragrance that I featured. Guys, it was like a whole year and a half of including this in every lineup. That is how much I love this fragrance. Now, this is a scent that is very, very versatile. I think it is unisex, but may lean a tad to the feminine side. But it is one that, while being perfection for spring and summer, you could probably make it your signature scent and wear it all throughout the year for any occasion, day or night. Dress it up, dress it down. The performance is stellar. It is just a scent that is incredible. Now, this is also a fragrance that was allegedly inspired by Fragrance du Bois Santal Complete. And I say that because I own that fragrance. I had many fam members tell me that that's what it was allegedly inspired by. So I did comparisons multiple times side by side with the original. And while I do get nuances that, you know, I do get some differences, they're not negligible. So for me, would I call this a twist? To me, this is more of a twist on that fragrance than anything else. This one has at the top bergamot, spices, and orange. At the heart, coconut, lang lang, ambroxan, mahonial, and at the base, sandalwood, musk, and benzoin. So this fragrance does have ambroxan. So for those of you that are sensitive, this is not for you. But this is a scent that definitely opens with a very citrusy quality that at times wants to become a bit zesty. This is such an elegant scent. This is perfection for any occasion. Again, I can't stress that enough because this is one of the most versatile fragrances that I have in my Middle Eastern fragrances collection. Truly incredible. And it is a scent that does have that coconut. The coconut to me is creamy, but that note of lang lang is also very present. It's really the only floral that I pick up on. So if you're not into the note of lang lang, this one is not going to be for you. But other than that, it is just exquisitely beautiful. It does have musk at the dry down. The musk is between a 3 and 4, more 3 than 4, but not animalic in any kind of way. Let us know if this is one that you picked up. Have you been using it all along? If you recall correctly, this is my second bottle. Anyway, let us know. All right, so the next fragrance that I have for you is Badi Al Oud, but Honor and Glory. And here is the gorgeous bottle. Now, here is another fragrance that was an obsession for me for quite a long time. If you've been with me for a long time, you know that I did not have luck with Badi Al Oud, with that entire line. There's quite the number of other fragrances within this collection, and through time, I have featured them here on the channel. The only two that have really, really worked for me and that still remain in my collection because I love them are Honor and Glory and Noble Blush. Now, Honor and Glory is a fragrance that has at the top pineapple and creme brulee, at the heart cinnamon, turmeric, black pepper, and benzoin, And at the base, vanilla, sandalwood, cashmere, and moss. This is a fragrance that is perfection, okay, for the spring and summer season, but you could pull it for any occasion, day or night, in any season of the year. I know that you can make this your signature scent all year round and be perfectly fine. It does open with a fruity quality to it that is not very sweet. To me, it is clearly pineapple. I pick it up clearly. And the pineapple has not been done in a masculine way because sometimes pineapple can lean heavy to the masculine side. To me, this is very much a unisex scent that does not lean to the feminine or to the masculine side for sure. There is a degree of yumminess to this scent at the dry down, which is comprised of like maybe that creme brulee note, but I also know that I get the tonka clearly. The tonka brings that vanilla note to the next level because the tonka brings a warm, spicy, very, very vanilla caramelly type of effect at the dry down that you're absolutely going to love and which is going to get you addicted to this fragrance. There is a tad of a lactonic quality to it, not too much, but definitely present. If you have tried this fragrance and you love it, please let us know. And if you don't, what is it that you did not enjoy? Because I do know that there's quite a number of fam members that could never get into this one. Let us know. The next fragrance that I have for you is one that if you've been with me for a while, you're going to be like, oh yes, of course this is in the lineup because this was a deep love from first sniff. And this one is from LATTAFA Niche Emirati, and this is Rima's. And here is the gorgeous bottle. Now, Rima's is a scent that I have recommended time and time again. This is an exceptional fragrance that was inspired by Paco Rabanne fame. Now, this fragrance has a very present note of mango. The mango here, while being ripe and sweet and luscious, it's not super ripe. So you're going to pick up on it, but it is also very balanced with all the other notes involved. This is a fragrance that has at the top mango, orange, and bergamot, at the heart sandalwood and jasmine, and at the base vanilla, white amber, and olibanum. This is a scent that truly is all about that note of mango surrounded with those florals. The florals that I pick up on here are clearly white florals, but that fruitiness of the mango is always present, always having kind of like an effect on the overall scent for sure. To me, this is a fragrance that is unisex, but may lean a bit to the feminine side, but I can see a gent pulling this off without a problem. To me, it is perfection for, any season of the year, but specifically spring and summer is when I really love to pull it the most. Anyway, let us know. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this one because I have talked about this fragrance so much here. Absolutely incredible fragrance. Let us know if you've tried it and what has your experience been. Next, we have a fragrance that is no stranger to this channel because I have discussed it so much since day one. And as time has gone on, I fall more and more in love with this scent. And this one was inspired by Gucci's Flora Gorgeous Orchid for sure. And I'm speaking about a theory. And here is the gorgeous bottle. Now, a theory is a scent that has at the top passion flower and dewdrop, at the heart orchid and jasmine, and at the base vanilla and amberwood. But at the end of the day, guys, and I want you to know that even though we have all these motifs, the bee and the honeycomb and all of that, there is no honey in this fragrance, okay? This is all about a beautifully done orchid, okay? The thing about this fragrance is that compared to the OG, all of the notes are so present. The level of intensity, I guess is what I'm trying to say, of the scent overall is quite significantly different than that of the OG. The OG is a scent that I loved from the beginning, but I returned it because the performance, I'm telling you, it was horrific. But once I encountered this one, this is such a deep love. This is a fragrance that to me does lean feminine. Can I see a gent pulling it off? Maybe if you layer it. But other than that, it is perfection for the spring, summer, and the opening of the fall. I would not pull this during the winter. And you can use it for any occasion, day or night. It does open with that floral presence immediately, but at times I also pick up like on an ozonic quality to the scent itself. And as the journey continues, it becomes quite clear that the orchid is the star. But at the dry down, you are going to have a floral scent that is quite warm, spicy, with a ton of vanilla. Absolutely beautiful. Let us know if you've tried a theory. Did you pick it up? And what has your experience been? Would you recommend it? Did you get to compare it to the OG? And would you agree that the performance of this one is just unbelievable? Next, I have for you Anna Abiyed Coral, and here is the beautiful bottle. Now, Anna Abiyed Coral is a fragrance that I featured just recently. I love to talk about this fragrance because it is really unbelievable. So, let me just tell you my story with this one. So, if you watch all my videos, you know that Wave Child is one of the few fragrances that I've ever shared here on the channel where I've told you that I've been completely disappointed. And I did chapter and verse on why. And my expectation of that fragrance was that we were going to get a realistic note of watermelon and other fruits involved, which we're going to talk about in a minute. But that's not what I got whatsoever. The, the fragrance did nothing for me. And I know that that was a very hyped, I think it even went viral type of fragrance, but it just did not work for me. Fast forward, this one was launched. And when I first sniffed it, I could not believe it because the watermelon here is surreal. Okay. It is unbelievably real. It is sweet. It is juicy. It is just perfection. Now, this one has at the top watermelon, peach, and orange. At the heart, coconut and white flowers. And at the base, musk, vanilla, and amber. And truly, this is a scent that I would only, this is a fragrance that I would only pull like during the spring and summer season and maybe the opening of the fall. But other than that, this is just not cold weather whatsoever for me, but absolute perfection for spring and summer and the opening of the fall. Absolutely. And the performance is stellar. And it is going to get you a ton of compliments. At the dry down, you are going to get a very ambery scent that is also musky, between 3 and 4, more 3 than 4, not animalic in any kind of way, with a very, very strong, not dominant, but strong floral presence. It's all about a bouquet of white florals, with the fruitiness being the star of the scent. The fruitiness does definitely include that watermelon, which you're going to pick up on clearly throughout the journey of the fragrance, at the dry down, and throughout the wear. And that watermelon is accompanied by a very beautifully done creamy coconut. Again, absolutely incredible. Any occasion during the spring, summer, and opening of the fall. Let us know, because I know many of you have tried or owned this fragrance. Let us know what you think about it. Would you recommend it as the perfect spring and summer season type of scent? Next, I have for you a fragrance that so many of us love, because how could you not love this scent? This is really unbelievable. But anyway, this one is Dalal. And here is the gorgeous bottle. Now, Dalal is a scent that was allegedly, and believe me, it was, inspired by Paco Rabanne's Million Gold for Her. This is a completely feminine scent. Let me start there. And it is perfection for spring and summer, but you can pull it off during any season of the year. The notes here at the top are apple and mandarin. At the heart, jasmine, lang lang, and orange. And at the base, vanilla, musk, and oak moss. This is a scent that does open indeed very fruity. But that fruitiness really also has like a bit of a citrusy, bordering on zesty kind of quality, but it definitely opens fruity and immediately sweet. At the dry down, it will remain sweet, not very sweet, but it will be sweet. As the journey continues, the florals make their appearance, and it is very much about a partnership between the white and the yellow florals, because here you are going to have a very present note of lang lang, but you're also going to pick up on the jasmine. But although at the beginning I was picking up on one more than the other, now that this one has had a chance to sit more, I'm really picking up on both. And they're like, they're not exactly the same yet, but it's a very, very nicely done partnership. At the dry down, you're going to get a fruity floral, fruity white floral, musky scent. The musk is to the tune of like a level between 3 and 4, more 3 than 4, but not animalic in any kind of way. And then there's an edge brought in by like a mossy kind of scent coming from the note of oak moss. And that adds quite a bit of personality and character to the scent at the dry down, because if not, between the vanilla, the fruitiness, and the florals, it would just be like a sweet, beautiful scent, but without enough depth. And I think that the note of oak moss brings that to the picture for sure. Again, to me, this is feminine. Any occasion, day or night, you could make this your signature scent, wear it throughout the entire year. But for me, this is perfection for spring and summer. High compliment getter, okay? Let us know if you picked up Dalal and what has your experience been? How are you loving it? Have you compared it to Million Gold for her? Next, I have for you a fragrance where I don't think I'm going to have to spend a lot of time on this one because I am sure that if I did this lineup and did not include this fragrance, I'm sure that I would get all types of comments. So this one is, of course, Angam. And here is the gorgeous bottle, very, very nicely done. So Angam is a scent that was inspired, because it truly was, and we all know it, by Burberry Goddess. This is a scent that is very much about the note of lavender, but the beauty of it is that the lavender here has not been done in a masculine way, because I would say most of the time in fragrances, that note of lavender can be a bit much and definitely lean to the masculine side. This fragrance has at the top ginger, mandarin, and pink pepper. At the heart, lavender, praline, cacao, and jasmine. And at the base, vanilla, amber, and musk. This is a scent that opens immediately with a very present note of lavender, but the lavender in the opening is not commanding in this scent. While the lavender is present, the opening is more about the spiciness, because there's a certain degree of airiness in the opening, brought on, in my opinion, by that note of ginger. There is ginger. You're going to pick up on it in the opening, as well as the pink pepper. And I think I've always shared with you that I just think there's also black pepper. As the journey continues is when the lavender intensifies a bit more and makes more of a present, but never in a way where it's overpowering or overwhelming or screechy in any kind of way. While the lavender is present, you're also going to pick up in a very faint way on that note of jasmine. And at the dry down, what you're going to get is an ambery scent that is also musky, that has a good amount of vanilla, and does have that floral presence still marked by that note of lavender. But overall, this is a fragrance that is absolute perfection, in my opinion. For the spring and the summer, you could make it your signature scent and wear it all throughout the year. But for me, this is perfection for spring, summer, and the opening of the fall. I must say that even though I think this is perfect for the summer, you do have to be careful with how much you spray it if you know you're going to be outside, because it can be a bit much, because this is definitely beast mode on my skin. Let us know if you've tried it, because I know many of you own it. Why do you love it? Do you get compliments with it? Let us know. The next fragrance that I have for you is another one that if I don't include it in this lineup, there would definitely be like problems here. So this one is, of course, Garum. And here is the very interesting but very, very beautiful bottle. So garum is a scent that was definitely inspired by Bacciami from the Allegra collection from Bulgari. That is a fragrance that I own and I love. And we have talked about this fragrance and its comparison to that scent so many times. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this one. But this one has at the top pear, tangerine, and pineapple. At the heart, magnolia and jasmine. And at the base, praline, amber, cashmere wood, sandalwood, and musk. And that is all fine and good. But let me tell you what you're going to get. At the dry down, you are going to get a scent that has a tad of a balsamic quality to it. Now that it's had a chance to sit, I am picking up on that clearly. It's not very, very dominant or present in any kind of way, but it is definitely there. It is a scent that at the dry down has a bit of nuttiness to it, accompanied by quite a bit of vanilla. This is all about white florals, but the one floral that I do pick up on the most, and I've told you that time and time again, is the note of magnolia. I pick up on the jasmine and I pick up on others because it's really a bouquet of white florals, but the magnolia is in the lead. At the dry down, the scent is also quite musky to the tune of a level 4. This is the type of fragrance that is going to get you quite the number of compliments because it is a scent that is very, very much appealing, non-offensive. You could make it your signature scent, wear it throughout the entire year if you want to, but for me, this is perfection for spring, summer, and the opening of the fall. Let us know because I know many of you own garum, and what has your experience been? Are you loving it? Do you also own Bacciami, and how do they compare? The next fragrance that I have for you, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on because I think I have discussed this fragrance just about every week here on the channel during Middle Eastern Thursday since it was launched because I absolutely love it and I absolutely love the OG. And this one is Angam Second Song. And here is the gorgeous bottle. Now, Angham's second song is a scent that was definitely inspired by Dolce & Gabbana's not Devotion, but My Devotion. And this scent has at the top pear blossom and bergamot, at the heart peony, orange blossom and praline, and at the base vanilla, musk, and tonka. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. Oh, and this does have ambroxan, okay? So keep that in mind. This is a scent that is perfection for spring and summer. I can't envision even pulling it truly during the fall. You could get away with it, but this is not for cold weather. To me, this is all about warm weather. And at that, it is true perfection. You can make it your signature scent, take it to the office, wear it for any occasion. But this is a scent profile that, while I would like to tell you that it's a safe blind buy, the more feedback I get on this one and the OG, the more I have to tell you that it would be best if you tried it first and not just blind bought it, because it may not be for you. There is a very marked presence of, there is fruitiness, there is a floral presence at the dry down. The tonka is quite dominant right along with the vanilla, but I have to tell you that this scent is just so, so, so addictive. There's also like a tad of a nutty quality to it. It is a very, very addictive scent that is going to make you sniff yourself all throughout the day, and those around you will not be able to get enough. Within that floral presence, you are going to pick up, more than anything, you're going to get that orange blossom. So you have to enjoy a good orange blossom scent in order to even appreciate this one in any kind of way. To me, this does lean to the feminine side for sure. Heavy, but if you layer it with a woody masculine scent, you may be able to pull it off if you're a gent. Let us know if you've picked this up. What has your experience been wearing it? Are you enjoying it? And if not, what is it that you're not liking about it? Let us know. And the last one, my top pick for spring, summer right now is definitely specific to LATTAFA. This is my top pick, and it would be Opulent Dubai. And here is the gorgeous bottle. Now, Opulent Dubai is a scent that was allegedly, and I've already discussed this fragrance here on the channel so many times, and I've done the comparison for you, but this one was definitely inspired by Stefan Humbert Luca's God of Fire. So if you were looking for a more affordable alternative, I am telling you, this is your golden opportunity, because that is what you're going to get. This one has at the top mango, grapefruit, lemon, and ginger. At the heart, jasmine, cedar wood, and violet. At the base, woodsy notes, ambergris, benzoin, and oak moss. So several things with this one. This scent has a very marked note of mango. The mango is ripe, juicy, luscious, sweet. The scent is sweet, but not very sweet. There is a certain degree of powderiness at the dry down. It is definitely present. You're definitely going to pick up on it, but it is a powdery accord that is not cloying in any kind of way, which is what allows it to be perfection for spring and summer. Because to me, this scent is primarily designed for spring and summer. At that, in the opening, there is a citrusy, airy quality, as I said before, but really the note of ginger to me is the one that brings that bit of freshness in the opening. As the journey continues, the scent immediately starts to become powdery, and from there on, that powderiness just increases until the dry down, where the scent, while being musky, it's also powdery, and it does have like a warm, spicy quality to it. You're also at the dry down going to get not just that mango with that powderiness and still a remnant of the ginger, but you're going to get quite a bit of woodiness, which is what grounds the scent and makes it so, personality filled. It is a scent that is just incredible. Just like the OG, this scent is just incredible. It is very, very versatile because you can wear it for any occasion. You can make it your signature scent during the spring and summer seasons. It is just a delight to wear, and it's going to get you a ton of compliments. Please let us know if you've tried Opulent Dubai. Did you compare it to the OG? There's others that have been launched with an affordable Middle Eastern fragrances, but this one is definitely my favorite, followed closely by the French Avenue version. Anyway, let us know if you tried it and what has your experience been. All right, fam, so we've reached the end of today's video, and I hope that this was enjoyable for you. I assure you that there will definitely be at least 2 to 3 fragrances that you will absolutely love from this entire lineup. I wanted to bring you enough of a variety of scent profiles, because there are just so many incredible fragrances from LATTAFA that I think are a perfect fit for the spring and summer season. I'm doing this so that you have time to pick it up now before the summer kicks in. But anyway, as always, let us know in the comment section your thoughts on any of these fragrances that you've tried or that you own. Are you excited about, wearing some of them during the upcoming summer season? And are you wearing it now during the spring season? As always, thank you so much for hanging with me today, and I will see you all in the next video.